to the live. Welcome to the live. See my Stan Lee shirt? Excelsior. The man Stan Lee. Yeah, yeah. The one who I believe started it all. You know what I mean? Stan the man Lee. You cannot beat that. That man has changed the lives of so many with his characters, with his books, stories. You cannot, dog. You cannot discount that. You can't discredit that whatsoever, and that's a fact. So basically, we're just gonna wait until we get a couple more individuals in here, a couple more people, and we can 100% start getting into this. So, but for the one that is here, welcome. Mhm. All right, Martina did that. Most definitely. How you doing? Make yourself at home. You know what I mean? And we shall most definitely get this on and popping. Look a little rough. Look a little rough. Looking rough. Hey man, when you got a lot going on, you trying to do some things. Uh, hey man, you're gonna look rough some days. That's a fact, dude. You're gonna look rough some days. Hey, but it's how you carry yourself. You know what I mean? That's it. Well, for me, I feel like I'm bummed out a little bit today, but you know what? I'm all good. I'm rocking Stan Lee today. You know, one of the inspirations of my life personally. You know, and I'm pretty sure for those who know about Stan Lee and that are comic book fans and has have read and any of his books or inspired by any of his characters or anything like that, man, you know exactly where I'm coming from on that, and that is a fact. But yeah, I mean, but what I do want to get started with you guys on is, again, as you can see in the title, is what inspired me to create Night Reaper. And for those that are watching, if you do not know, excuse me, if you do not know, if I haven't said it or whatever, I started writing Night Reaper in 2017. And what inspired me was because okay, so let's go back a little, let's go back some years, obviously, for those who that do not know. Again, I got into the superhero thing and creation thing when I was about maybe, shoot, 7 years old, man. You know what I mean? 7 years old. I'm not gonna go into a complete life story behind it, but you know, I got into the fantasy world, like, again, like Power Rangers and all that, and then eventually I ended up creating my own, you know, my own books, and use what inspired me to do that. Like, I was into X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, you know, and that's what made me, get into everything, and once I actually did create, I created my first book when I was about like 8, 9 years old, man. Once I actually got into it, once I started, I did my own little writing, and what inspired me. My first book actually was based off of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. You know what I mean? If you remember, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, man. It was the one with Ivan Ooze. You know what I mean? They had, Tommy and all them, as a kid growing up and you watch something like that, man, that was one of the most wonderful things ever that you can actually get into. And that was inspired me. But the thing is, what inspired me to do that was I didn't necessarily copy. I actually used my own creativity when I was young, and I actually created my own Power Rangers. Like it was inspired by it, but from by the movie, I was just watching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and all that beforehand. But what made me get into it was I created everything from scratch. I had my own Megazords, my own characters, my own Power Ranger suits, you know what I mean? My own Alpha, mentor as well. Man, it was really exciting as a kid, that got into it. But point is, man, once I did get into, the creative part, I started, doing things as for like wrestling. Like I'm also it was also a big wrestling fan. And I ended up once I started watching wrestling. So the first wrestling game that if for you guys who don't remember, if you did play games or anything like that, man, remember the draft. Exactly. What's going on with you, Chuck? Yes, I do remember the Dragon Dagger, man. I remember the Dragon Dagger, but that was with the Green Ranger, man. That was the Green Ranger, man. But hey, by all means, though, I feel like the Green Ranger was still harder than the White Ranger when Tommy went from green to white. That's my opinion. That's all I'm saying. But that's exactly what I got into, man, when I actually started getting it, when I started watching Power Rangers. And then again, once I started watching wrestling, my first wrestling game that I can remember I started playing was the WrestleMania 2000, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was WrestleMania 2000. And I think that was for Nintendo 64 at the time. But I think that's when I started really, getting into creating because without like every chance I got when I played games like that, man, you damn right. The Green Ranger is the GOAT, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But you know what? Hey, bro. I actually what happened with that was I was always the Red Ranger fan, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I was always a Jason dude, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But if I had to sum it up with the Green and White Ranger, man, you already know it's the Green Ranger. But yeah, but I got into the creative process, man. And every chance I got, I created. If I couldn't create on there, I didn't really want it. You know what I mean? Like I created my own groups, my own wrestlers from scratch, inspirations, obviously. My favorite wrestler was Stone Cold Steve Austin, will forever will be. You know what I mean? So, I'm just kind of, geeking out a little bit, but that's a fact. But fast forward, obviously, what made me get into writing Night Reaper was when I actually started. This is when the MCU started getting real big again. You know what I mean? Because at the time, man, I kind of lost that creative spark. And if you actually grew up in the communities that I grew up in, one thing I didn't really like is the fact that we always got lumped into what? It was always music and sports. It wasn't seen to be sought for anything else. I'm a big guy. So, of course, if you ever met me in person, you'll look at me and ask, out of curiosity, man, have you ever played football or basketball? Yes, I played football. Yes, I was both on the offensive and defensive line. Yes, I played football. Yeah, I'm a big guy. That's my thing. But again, hey, I feel that. I feel that. Ant Man. But the thing is, man, and that's cool. With me, is that I always had the thought of doing that. I always had the thought of doing that. But the thing is, I just did not know where to start. If I'm being honest. So if you have started writing on superheroes before the MCU begun, that's all good. But I've always thought about that beforehand as well. I just didn't start writing. I didn't start writing. I didn't really have a thought inspiration to do it because my mind was still focused at the time on playing ball. My focus on at the time was still, trying to make a living, do what I can, but obviously, you still do well and everything. But again, what gave me that spark back though, what gave me the idea back to actually get into writing was um once I started back getting into watching Batman, and what gave me a jump off on that too, man, was Daredevil. Daredevil. Um, Daredevil is what gave me the jump start to get back into it. When I started watching the Daredevil series. Now, obviously, for those who have been longtime comic book fans and been writing for 10 plus years, over a decade or so, or anything like that, man, yo, all that is all good, and I pray that you have gotten yourself together. I pray, hey, if you've been writing all this time, brother, I would love to read one of your books if you do have any, or just give out any ideas as for your character inspirations. By all means, I'm always willing and open to see everybody else's inspirations and what makes them want to do the things that they want to do. You know what I mean? It's motivating to me. It's motivating to me, and I'm pretty sure that it's inspiring and motivating to others. You know what I mean? But um, but yeah, once I got into it, man, I thought about it, and I'm a big fan of Batman. Uh, Also, I'm a fan of Punisher. And then when I really started getting into it, and ironically, it's the fact that when I started writing before, I started writing Night Reaper like at the beginning of the first season of Daredevil, but what also was what I say is ironic was the fact that when they actually decided to announce season two of Daredevil on a series of Netflix at the time, when they brought Punisher in, you know, I watched the hell out of that series. You know what I mean? Daredevil is still one of my most favorite series of all time. You know what I mean? I actually, hey, I was like, you know what? I've watched that series, man. It may sound crazy. I watched that series probably damn near a dozen times. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm a fan, whatever. Hey, I don't care. Y'all can judge me. I don't care. If when you like something, you mess with it. You know? Yeah, yeah. You see, I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably gonna get a little flack for this, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm a big fan of Batman. I feel like Superman is completely overrated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I may get some flack for that, but it's okay. That's my opinion. And I believe that Superman is highly overrated as a superhero. I'm sorry. This guy can do damn near every power ever, damn near. I mean, in a minute, the brother gonna be able to walk through walls. You know what I mean? I mean, it, if it hasn't already happened where he can pull the Flash, like how the Flash can manipulate his molecular system and and actually just phase through walls, man. That's something else right there. But that's just my opinion on that, man. But yeah, but I started writing Night Reaper um based off of the mixture. I told myself, like, how would it be to write? How would it be if you had a Batman, you know, mixed in similar to the Punisher? And I was like, I don't think anybody has that at the time. I don't think nobody had that at the time. Not really. You know, I'm a big comic book fan, but I have not read every comic book. I don't know every superhero, I know every background, every variation. So I'm just going to be honest on that part, you know. But but for real, what I did think, and I just thought about that. I was like, how would that be? Punisher with a little bit of Batman, you know, and it's like adding a few key characteristics to this specific character. And I thought about it, and at the time, man, there was a lot going on in my life that also gave me inspiration too to go ahead on and write this. And made me kind of base, you know, some situations of Night Reaper into my life as well. And that's what I did. Uh, I feel like it's realistic. You got to have your deep, dark situations. You know, your characters that motivates them, that makes them who they are. You know, you, you know what? And that's true though, Chuck. That's a fact. You know, the crazy part is they supposed to be getting ready to come out with a Superman game. I would actually try that out just to see how it is, as long as they stay key to the actual character. You know what I mean? Yes, me saying that he is overrated, which he is, but again, I would actually think I would enjoy a Superman game for the first time. I don't see why not. You know what I mean? I don't hate Superman, but you know, just I just feel like he's just an overrated character because he just got too much going on. My lady, she likes Superman. She likes Superman, but I always roast her about it and be right there like, man, nah, I was saying like, nah, man, Superman corny. I be like, no, he corny, man. Ain't nothing going on Superman. Hey, you know you did. You really did, man. Do your thing, and man, do your damn thing, brother. Do not stop. If you're gonna do that, man, make sure you stay true to yourself, stay dedicated to it. And I promise you, man, once you actually got something going on from the head all the way down to the feet, brother, from the background to the front. You know, I'm telling you now, you do that, you can get where you want to be. Just stay dedicated, stay motivated. Make sure that you just keep that hunger and that drive to be like, you know what, I like what I'm doing, I like what I'm writing, I like what I'm creating, and you push it out there. You put it out there. Don't doubt for a second if people will like it or not. Everybody gonna have their dislikes. Some people are gonna have, and you're gonna have people that's gonna love it. So again, I'm gonna use the whole bread and I'm gonna use the bread in the marketplace as a scenario. You got a whole bunch of bread in the aisle, different brands, different versions, different flavors of breads in one aisle, and only a few get commercials. Let's look at it that way. But just because certain people like a specific type of bread does not mean you're not going to pick that bread that's right there on the side. It's like off-brand restaurants compared to name brand restaurants. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I feel like half, if not most, off-brand restaurants are better than your occasional name brand restaurants that we all know around the world. Let's just be honest. So you put your stuff out there, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? So yeah, yo, like, hey, excuse me. You right, Chuck and Ant Man. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. Obviously, I like the Dark Knight with the Joker a lot better. You know what I mean? Joker's one of my all-time favorite villains, period. Always have been. He's one of my I didn't realize how damn dark he was though until a little bit later once I got a little older. I've always liked the Joker, but when I realized he was like dude psychotic for real, I was just like, damn, you know, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, like that brother is that's something else right there. Like that's a scary dude. You don't even know if you want to be. If you could, and the Joker was telling you right now to be his friend or not, I don't know how to feel because I would think he probably abused his friends a hell of a lot worse than he would the enemy. I would think. I mean, you know, just enjoy it. Just imagine somebody who's beating the dog breaks off of you, man, and laugh at you the entire time while he's doing it. It's, hey, I'm just saying. But yeah, but no, but for real though, Chuck, no, you cannot make everybody happy, brother. Not at all. You know what I mean? But that's why you got to stay true to yourself, like you said. Stay true to yourself. Stay motivated, and don't and always keep your two toes planted, man. Your 2 feet planted to the ground, man, and you keep on moving. That's it. Well, I mean, can't say keep your feet planted to the ground and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Plants don't move like that. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, man, just when I started writing Night Reaper, hey, the Scarecrow was cool too. Scarecrow was cool too. I'm not gonna lie. You know, hey, Hey, the Joker still do what you got to do, man. Hey, I still choose the Joker. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. But yeah, but again, when I started writing Night Reaper and I thought about how I wanted to do them, I was like, you know what? I think this actually makes something happen. I'm like, you can't go too dark. At least I don't think you can. At the end of the day, everybody got their preferences as for what they like to read. Everybody like their preferences as for characters and stuff like that. You know, and it's just and what's crazy is one thing going back to what you said, and man, the same thing putting into play exactly what you said as well, Chuck, is I actually had to deal with a guy not too long ago who was actually, speaking on the characters. Oh, it's too many these type of anti-heroes, and these dark characters is mediocre and things like that or whatever. And he was just kind of, I guess he was trying to give some advice, but at the same time, it's like, brother, and then when I actually let him know exactly what was going, let this individual know exactly what it was, he was like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to help with the whoop or whatever." And I'm just like, "Listen, that's all good and that's all good and anything else." But I'm telling him like all these characters that he started dropping in the comment section at the time. I'm like, all these characters that you're talking about, that people that you yourself have a opinion on, you got to understand. All them characters that you're name dropping, talking about, it's the same mediocre, dark characters, or whatever the case may be. Understand, they're all still successful. Everybody got a different flavor to it. Everybody has a different touch to their characters. You know what I mean? You can't have every Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But when I wrote Night Reaper, I wanted to make a difference. Okay. Yeah. Just do your thing, man. Just do it. Just do it. I'm getting started myself, man. Always just take the leap, take the step. Don't be afraid to ever take the step. You know, it's so many people who are afraid to take the step to do something different. And because some people are afraid to succeed, more than I would like to think they're afraid of failure. And the thing is about succession is that once you get your foot into the door, you get a little taste of it, even if it's just a little bit. Um, you you talking to me, Chuck? You talking about bro in the comments? Just just to understand on my half where I end up. Once I do decide to drop info for the Kickstarter, will be probably sometime this month, later on in the month of March. Uh, so that way you guys actually, I would love for you guys to, see what's coming, see what's going to drop, see how this is going to turn out, and yeah, just to, hey, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, Chuck. That's why I asked, man. But but yeah, man. Just I will definitely be dropping the Kickstarter pretty soon, you guys. Also, just stay aware of that. Again, if you do not know, obviously, hit like, subscribe down here on my channel here. Also, follow me on Instagram if you are not doing so. Follow me on Instagram as well as Facebook. If you have a fan base, definitely follow me on fan base. That'll be Phenom underscore comics. Phenom underscore comics. It will not be hard to find. It's the same logo that you see on this channel down here below. That won't steer you wrong. Is there ain't a lot of people that's calling themselves Phenom Comics. I'm gonna tell you that right now. At least mine is legal. Mine is legal. You know what I mean? So, man, Chuck, you know, Chuck, I'd have told you, man, you need to get an Instagram. You need to get an Instagram. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, G. I appreciate that. You know, but yeah, just hey, but no, hey, but yeah, like I said, but getting back to this whole thing, I know I'm engaged with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, you know. You know what I mean? Hey, but like I said, man, Night Reaper was an inspiration for me to write because I felt like it was something that was, even if it was a little dark, you know, the action is legit. I want to meet a good action hero, you know, that brought in the darkness, that was dark, that that actually fought, that moved, that was as brutal as Batman and Punisher at the same time, but moved like Batman, that had that new jitsu. See, when I thought about the martial arts and fighting styles that he got, that I actually personally like myself. I like Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, obviously boxing, wrestling. You got Taekwondo, you got karate, you have Wing Chun. These are the fighting styles and skills that Night Reaper has incorporated. That's within his skill set, and use those same skills within the book and going forward. So I feel like if I had to sit up here and put my claim on it, and I don't care. I'm going all out for my dude. Night Reaper can go toe to toe, blow for blow with Batman and any other character that got high martial arts skills. That's good at close quarters combat. Night Reaper is a dog, and I'm gonna let that be known. And not only that, but he's also a big guy that actually can move pretty fast. He moved through the shadows. He used shadow manipulation, like basically, for theatricality and perception and things of that nature to play tricks on you, to make that can confuse you, that can literally manipulate your senses and take you out like that. And that is how Night Reaper moves. And I thought about that by thinking about Batman, playing the Batman games on top of the Punisher being a guy that actually, that use guns. Night Reaper used guns. Like y'all seen Batman when he has a gun, right? So you see Batman with a gun, but you got a dude that's dressed up like the Grim Reaper. Let's be honest. If you see a dude that's over 6 foot, big, intimidating, coming out the shadows behind you with a damn skull mask on, you telling me you about to try to fight this brother? No, the hell you not. No, the hell you not. And that's what I wanted to do. Night Reaper is one of them cats that will definitely be that is a great and will be a great asset. If you are into characters like that, you will definitely love seeing and doing as for understanding who this character is. And it's like, again, where with Night Reaper, I wanted him to be a protector, and which is another reason why it inspired me to make Night Reaper, because again, going back to what makes Night Reaper who he is. Okay, what's crazy about that, Chuck, is you have a few, but again, if technically the one who's that's giving off the orders, especially that brought off the hit on Night Reaper's family, on Mike Brooks' family, was Silverback. And for those, again, if you don't know who Silverback is in on my channel. I made a video specifically for Silverback. If you want to go back to understand his backstory, read it. I also have put it on my Instagram at the bottom of the caption, if it's easier for you than dealing with the video. That's just point blank, so you get a better understanding as to who Silverback is. But like I've said before, Silverback got to answer to somebody else, brother. You know what I mean? Silverback got to answer. You know what I'm saying? He gives the order to give the order. You get what I'm saying? And Silverback is one of them guys. Again, he runs a club called Club Shots, and and that's where where he makes the move, man. So yeah, you know what I mean? So Silverback is definitely one of them characters that but obviously, with HK, they're going to be man, like honestly, man, like once the book is created, man, I'm telling you right now, the scene that Night Reaper has basically pre Night Reaper. This is Mike Brooks. The scene that Mike Brooks has with the first encounter with the Heartless Killers is all is damn awesome, bro. It's straight up dog, man. It's raw. Period. It's hard. It's real hard. You know what I mean? Because he does them so dirty. And this is before he actually took on the actual mantle of calling himself Night Reaper. But yo, the first encounter with the Heartless Killers that Mike Brook goes into, man, is going to be something crazy. And I pray that it ain't too dark for y'all. You know what I'm saying? For those who actually end up getting to read that book once it's made, once it's actually put out there and given to the public, give it to everybody, man. You'll see exactly what I mean. That first encounter with HK and Mike Brooks, man, is lethal as hell, which establishes Night Reaper and making him just that dude. I promise you that. I promise you that. And not only that, but just man, it's so much that I want to say on that end, man. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm telling you, hey, bro, Chuck, understand, brother. Understand, brother. This is it's something I don't care. I'm gonna brag because I like to believe myself to be a good writer. I for man, look, I watch too many movies, anime and stuff like that, not to get any type of ideas and how to mix two and two together, understanding this and understanding that, and what makes a good story, man. And that's what especially for the first scene out, the first encounter out, man, just to see how that's going to go, you know, because like I said, man, Night Reaper is lethal. Mike Brooks, again, he already has military training. Okay. He already has military training, but he also has training from a old ancient African basically like it's almost like oh yeah, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, most definitely. That's exactly my point, man. Is having stories that's not boring. You know what I mean? Especially if you like some action. And I'm an action dude, man. I'm a horror dude. I'm an action dude. You know what I'm saying? Also an adventure guy, you know, but also, when understanding crimes and thrillers as well, yo, when you are hip to these things, man, you know how to put a good, you can put a good story together. Some people, they try. I always like to encourage people to at least try if you haven't. If you got the idea as for how you want to do certain things, man, just try. Just try. That's it. It doesn't matter what you into. It doesn't matter what you into. Just try. Give it a step. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, bro. See, that's why you and me connect, Chuck. that's why. That's why we cool, man. hey, but for real, hey, but yes, Night Reaper is definitely one of them characters, and why I got inspired was obviously the way things have been, from where I'm from, where I reside, and then again, also the situation as for being inspired by these characters like Night Reaper. I mean, like from Batman and Daredevil, the Punisher, and those kind of characters. And I told myself like, let me actually make a character that brought that fear that is highly protective and want to protect his city to make it safe. That's tired of seeing the stuff on the news about this murder or that murder, this kidnapping or this missing child. You know what I'm saying? And you know, thank you. And it's like, y'all ever had got them? You know, and I know a lot of it's a sensitive topic, but I know a lot of you get those Amber Alerts sometimes. You telling me that nobody once just thought to themselves, like, okay, once you get an Amber Alert, let me just go out here and probably go and search and find this kid. And you know, they give you the description of the vehicle and everything, and you like, okay, what was the last area? You want to go and be a detective yourself sometime. That's just my mindset of just being like, have anybody thought about doing that? Every time you get them Amber Alerts, you say to yourself, you're like, okay, I want to do these things, but I feel like if I went and hunt this person down myself, I'm gonna get in trouble, even though you sent me the damn Amber Alert. So what you expect me to do? If I get the Amber Alert and I decide to take matters into my own hands, and if I do catch the person and I decide to either beat the brakes off of them or anything like that to save the kid myself, you know, would I get in trouble for that? I'm just saying, you doing a good deed. My thing is, if you don't want somebody to do something crazy, I would say don't send me the Amber Alert. I'm just saying, you know, just yeah. I mean, yeah, you pray for them, you pray for them. I get that. I 100% understand. I'm just saying, just it's just the idea. It's just the come on. That's all I'm saying. But again, going back into the whole point was the situation with Night Reaper is just the fact that he's one of them individuals that, you know, hey, you said that's Night Reaper's job. Hey, you know, hey, that's true. That's true. I mean, you know what I mean? You these characters that have been created throughout the years, for decades, man, uh, they're created for a reason. That's why you have an X-Men. That's why you have a Batman. That's why you have a Spider-Man and all that and everything, because somebody seen things, heard things, and got tired of not seeing the possible potential of people actually making the world a safer place. So the idea why I think where superheroes come into play is because you got people that like Stan Lee himself made, you know what I'm saying, was one of these individuals that made these characters come to life because it was that thought that was like, how would the world be if we actually had superheroes, especially them who protected their own cities, their own neighborhoods? You know, you're not going to get too much crime or anything like that, you know, and you know, thanks, thank you, Excelsior. You know what I mean? I don't want to, you know, that's that's what it says. Stan Lee's shirt, man, Excelsior. You know, that's one of his sayings. But yeah, man, it's but just you see characters like Night Reaper, you see characters that want to do right, that has been through hardships and things like that. Again, if you're a big Spider-Man fan, you saw what happened to, obviously, who don't know the story of Spider-Man, how he was created. I mean, as for what his origin was, what made him who he is. It took, even though he got bit by a spider, he got these powers. What will really jumpstart him to be in Spider-Man was what? It was the death of his uncle Ben from a mugger that either robbed someone or tried to rob him. Either way, it was something criminal. And obviously, you know, for a certain, you know, to a certain degree, the police departments have a, you know, they have a limit, let's say, of how they have a limit to what they can do or how they do it, you know, and to a degree, some people just it's like when you let somebody else borrow something of yours. They're not going to take care of your stuff the way you'll take care of it. Am I wrong about that? So so my point is, again, some people are not going to care about what you care about most. So it's up to you to protect that. Am I right? Am I wrong? So when you think about the situation with Uncle Ben and Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, obviously close relationship. That's his uncle, loving uncle. You know what I mean? And you know, obviously to him, police wasn't gonna work as fast as they would like. So guess what? He has these powers, and he took it upon himself to go after his uncle's killer. You get what I'm saying? He took it upon himself to go after the person that murdered his uncle. And you know, and obviously that was the foundation that was set for Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And you know, and it's and like I said, I've said this before, but they always had that saying where there's the difference between the hero and the villain, where the villain is going to make sure that what pain they went through, they're going to put you through the same thing. Where the hero says to themselves, they're going to prevent others from feeling the same pain that they went through. There's the difference. I'm gonna cause pain. I'm gonna prevent pain. That's those are the difference between heroes and villains, people. Right there. One's going to cause pain because they went through it, so they want other people to feel it. And you got those that's been through it that don't want people to feel what they feel. You know what I mean? And that's relatable. If you've been through certain things, then again, with Night Reaper, you know, was set that would lit the fire in Night Reaper. What I wanted to create was the murder of his mother, and then the murder or the death of his child. That set and lit the fire of basically a psychological break that caused him to be like, you know what? None of this is getting done fast enough. I'm tired of it. I'm ready to just take these individuals out and handle this myself because nothing is working fast enough for me. I've had enough. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in the world for real that has had enough. So with Night Reaper is one of them characters, man, that I felt that would be a good foundation of obviously you got fiction, but reality at the same time, man. Fiction and reality at the same time. What you can relate to. What goes through your mind when certain things is going on and you can't wait for anyone else to handle things for you. You take it upon yourself to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I wrote Night River because of that reason. It was situations where I felt like that I wanted to do certain things, man. You know, it's intriguing as you said that, you know what I'm saying, you want to see what happens between his brother, or between him and his brother. Honestly, man, it's not a lot there, but I could tell you right now, it's gonna be some jumps. There's gonna be some stuff going on in there. I can guarantee you that. It's definitely gonna be some stuff going on in between the two. You know, um, obviously the situation with their mother is going to obviously set that foundation between the both of them. Mainly, you know what I'm saying, obviously, you know what I'm saying, obviously Michael, you know, he's the older brother. I like to believe he's the more protective, you know. But I mean, who's not protective over their family? You know what I mean? I feel like he's the most protective, but the death of his mother, their mother, definitely hit Sean. Because again, for those who I've told this story to, Sean was there. He had to hold his mother when she took her last breath. So that's traumatizing. He couldn't protect her. Michael wasn't there. He feel bad because he wasn't there to protect his family. And again, most men, most people in general want to protect their loved ones. But Sean, being the younger brother to Michael, was there when the shots hit his mother and watched his mother take her last breath, which is traumatizing. You know what I mean? So that's where that comes into play. You know, it's traumatizing to have to deal with certain things like that if you've never seen death before or anything like that. So I wanted to make it where Sean did, you know, he had to, you know, hold his mother, you know, after getting shot due to gang, the heartless killers, man. After what they did, and again, If you have not paid attention to the character backstories or the characters that I do have on this channel, look at Uncle Tony. Uncle Tony was another one. He was one of the. He was one. He shit. He was basically the reason for the hit. Not that he called it, but he was the one who ran on the plug. That's basically that's exactly what that was. He ran on the plug, and the plug came back and went after his family. That's exactly what that went. And for those who don't know who the plug, what the plug means, the plug means the person who handles the deals that give you this, that give you that. And once you sell and do the things that they want you to do for them, guess what you do? You re-up and you give them their cut. And if you don't do your part, what's gonna happen? It ain't good. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can say. It ain't good. For those who know and who don't know. For those who do know, you exactly what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. And that's basically what happened. The hit was put out on the Brooks family, which is the Brooks family tragedy that started from, obviously from Uncle Tony being that guy running the streets. Everybody got those them tripped out, messed up family members. Let's be honest. You got, you got those characters, man. So obviously that's what what happened with these characters, with Uncle Tony, with Sean. So be definitely on the lookout for Sean because it's gonna be more to his character later on. Yeah, exactly. You gotta pay or lay, man. You gotta pay or lay, man. That is a fact. That is an ultimate fact, man. Straight up. But yeah, just but yeah, just it's a turning point for everybody. It is a turning point for everybody in Night Reaper Origins. So that's why I said, man, once you guys read the book, you guys will definitely understand where I'm coming from on this and everything. And I really do think that I really believe that you guys will like and love this book. You will love Night Reaper. You know what I mean? You'll love Mazar. You'll love, you know what I'm saying, Akima, Sandeep. Y'all will love Silverback. I think you guys would definitely enjoy these characters once you all read the book. And simple as that, man. Again, that's why I made Night Reaper being a fan of heroes, superheroes. I'm a big fan of anti-heroes, obviously. You know what I mean? That basically those vigilantes that are basically illegal superheroes. They're not, you know what I'm saying, like known to just so that's pretty. So if you're just specifically talking about Night Reaper Origins, but if you're talking about future characters in Phenom Comics, man, that's a 100% guarantee, brother. 100% guarantee that it's going to be more characters. Again, and also just to let it be known, man, you're gonna have your cliffhangers. You're gonna have your cliffhangers. You know what I mean? Just to make it more interesting. You know what I mean? But yes, there definitely will be more characters in the future of Phenom Comics. Night Reaper is not the only one. There are other books that's being created, other characters now that I do have. That I would love to share with you guys sometime in the future. As of now, we have uh but as of now we do have Night Reaper and the characters that you do know. So once I do get to introduce those new characters and characters that you guys do not know about, then most definitely it's on and popping. But yeah, and I like to believe you'll love them characters too. Because I mean I have my my obviously your independent heroes, and you also have your groups of heroes. You have your leagues, so to speak. So yeah, just I've been doing this I've been doing this for some years, man, just out of excitement and being a fan. Being a fan and then wanting to write your own stories. And again, bringing that that kid back that I once was, man. I love doing those things, man. And maybe, but that's either here or there. You know what I mean? We'll see what that's gonna be. Now let's be honest. I see Night Reaper more so going toe to toe with Batman. Superman, I feel like that's kind of overkill a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. Night Reaper is definitely one of them individuals. If you have to figure some things out, and the thing is, Night Reaper he'll definitely kill Superman. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He may struggle against him a little bit, but if Night Reaper feels you are that much of a threat, if he feels if you're that much of a threat, because he's not going to just again, Night Reaper, he targets his, he picks his targets very carefully. You know what I mean? He understands his targets. At least he tries to. He understands his targets. But if you feel like you're a threat to him and the people that he cares about more than anything, he'll definitely take you out. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing about starting out as a hero. Night Reaper he has to gain more experience. Because I mean, if you think about it, when like I think it was a Batman comic. I think they also had a movie about it. I think they called it Batman Year One, where even though Batman he was trained by the League of Assassins or the League of Shadows, they got different names for him, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Trained by Ra's al Ghul. When he first went out there as Batman, what did he do? He was successful, but barely. He wasn't just straight legit the first night out. You get what I'm saying? It took him a minute to again experience. I mean, that's anybody. You know what I mean? You have to learn your foundations. You get out here. You study your opponents. You study the criminals. You study anything in general to gain the experience. That's why when we all make bad mistakes, what you do, you learn from them and anything. You make sure not to do them again, right? So that's exactly what Night Reaper is going to have to do. So for Night Reaper to take on more superpowered beings, man, it'll definitely take some experience. But one thing about Night Reaper is he ain't a sucker. Yeah, exactly. It showed the slow progression, but the fact that he gained experience and he actually continued to grow and he got better. That's where he actually at the end, even though it was like what I don't know, like 8 seasons after, that's when he took the mantle and became Superman. At that point, he had everything he needed. He was Superman at that point, you know. And that's where I mean, like as for you know, again going into the experience that Night Reaper has to have, before he starts to go against real superpowered individuals. Because again, Night Reaper is a street level crime fighter. He's a street level vigilante. You know what I mean? He's a street level vigilante, but I'm not saying that Night Reaper won't go against other individuals, that are not of street level, because again, Night Reaper he ain't a sucker. Night Reaper, you know what I'm saying? He'll definitely do what he has to do. I don't know how many seasons Smallville got, man. I don't know how many seasons Smallville have, man. I forgot. I haven't watched that in years, man. But I remember the slow progress that I do. But Smallville himself, man, I do not remember how many seasons. All I know is they had some seasons of Smallville before he got to the last couple episodes or something like that. And that's when he actually took on the mantle and became Superman. That's at least my memory of it, but you'll have to see that yourself. I'll probably have to look that up to know exactly how many seasons of Superman, Smallville, that actually were. But I think but no, I think it had to be like probably like 5 seasons or more or something, bro. I'm probably not over exaggerating when I say that. Just keeping that straight up. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah. But Night Reaper can definitely take on the best of them. He learns, he adapts. You know, that's what I took from Batman, where Batman has to the thing they say about Batman, he can take on everybody due to prep time. Batman can basically beat Godzilla if he has enough prep time. You know, hey, hey, like I said, I love Batman, and yeah, he can do some things, but hey, that's just they say Batman needs enough prep time in order for him to actually beat every and anybody and anything. You get what I mean? So, but yeah, Night Reaper is one of them dudes, man. He's similar to the Punisher. Uh, I like to believe that Night Reaper is. I guess if you're looking at if we're looking at a certain like okay, let's say like torment, or whatever. Night Reaper, he's a dark character, but I don't think he's necessarily that brutal. I haven't read every book of the Punisher. I'm gonna keep that 100 with y'all. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna just keep that straight up with y'all. So Night Reaper is brutal, but I don't think he's that gruesome. If you get what I mean, you know what I'm saying. Punisher is definitely one of them individuals that will dog you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say that because it's a scene in Night Reaper Origins where Night Reaper has certain weapons in his arsenal that again Night Reaper uses two 1911 custom pistols. Okay. He used two 1911 custom pistols. On top of that, he has a grappling hook that is, he has two. He has yeah, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, but the Punisher is legit though. You know what I mean? If you actually want them type of villains, you feel like, again, you want to be taken out, he'll do it. But yeah, but Night Reaper has he has a grappling hook that's a chain, the black chain grappling hook that has a sight attached to it on two parts and everything. He used them as a way to maneuver through buildings, or he also used them in combat to grab enemies, bring them to him on some scorpion type shit. And you got again, you also have where and again, it's a scene in Night Reaper Origins as well, where he, kind of one of the villains, the criminals inside of the book, which is hard as hell. That's another thing that's hard. Is a for that particular scene. Obviously, away from the scene that I was telling y'all when his first encounter. This is another encounter that he has with the Heartless Killers and anything that caused that. This also be the same scene that he also encounters Akima Sandeep, for the first time. The Akima Sandeep for the first time. Uh, and again, for those who don't know who Akima Sandeep is, again, the story, her story is in one of the videos on my channel. But she is the Serpent of Cain. If you don't know who Cain is, you're gonna have to wait to find out who Cain is. You know what I'm saying? hey, hey, it's a lot. It's a lot going on with that, man. And honestly, I feel like you guys would definitely enjoy Night Reaper. But yeah, that's what inspired me to do it was just hardships, the characters that I grew up loving, and I wanted to incorporate those characters together and make Night Reaper as legit that he can be, but attached to a good story. I'm not going to just make a character that's just going to, just beat the brakes off of everybody, just dog everybody, but don't have a good story. He has to have a good story. If you combine a good story with a good character, man, you got something great. As simple as that. If you actually have those kind of characters, man, you definitely can have something great, and that is a fact. You know what I mean? So, hey, That's the beauty of it. I can't wait. Hey, I'm ready for y'all. Trust me, I'm ready for y'all. And then again, also too, uh, sometime soon as well, man. Don't be surprised. You may have some merch that's gonna come out with some shirts just like this. You know what I mean? That you guys can also receive if you want to. You know, also. But I definitely want y'all to understand and like I said, love the characters. Hit that like button. You know, please like, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any videos. You do not miss any live streams or any updates from Night Reaper to anything else, any other characters after Night Reaper. So you won't miss out. So you can be excited as I am excited and excited for anything new to come out in the world that's going to take the world by storm and do some damage. Best believe that. But I hope you guys all enjoy yourselves, man. Y'all have yourselves a good one, and I will see y'all in the next video next Friday. All right, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Do not miss out. We're gonna have some updates for you guys. I would love to see y'all again. Don't hesitate to comment down in the chats below. Also, check out the other videos if you want to understand some of them characters. All right, have yourselves a good one. Peace. Bam.